Hey Eloy, how's it going, man?
Hey, good, good. Thank you.
How was your off season? Get some good time with the family.
Yeah, off season was nice. I went to Holland, to see family and stuff. So yeah, it was nice to be back home.
Good to hear that. Um, just in general, start of preseason. What's kind of the mood with the team getting back to training here?
Yeah, the mood is good. Everybody's eager to start again. Yeah, to start over again the season. And of course, we're missing some players, but still, yeah, the vibe in the team is good. Some young kids are also with us, so that's always nice to see how they do. So yeah, I think the start of the camp is good.
Hey,
Next,
Eloy, thanks
Tom.
for, yeah, thank you, Carlos. Thanks for the time, Eloy.
Yeah.
Question for you just on rejoining the crew. You were one of the first players to re-sign after the season was over. What kind of motivated you to stick with Columbus and the crew?
Yeah, because I still believe in the project. Like I came here in 2019, and of course you wanted to win the cup, but for me it's like also for the long term. I like the city, I like the people I work with, so it was not a hard choice for me. Like I also had some option in Europe to go back home there, but like for me, yeah, it was not time to go back to Europe yet. So I'm glad I stay for another more years in Columbus.
Thank you.
So go to Pat. If anyone would like a question after that, please click the raise hand button.
Hey, Eloy, good to see you.
Hey.
We were talking last week after the draft to Bez about Patrick Schulte. I'm curious, when you were a young goalkeeper kind of coming up, and I know that's a position that you tend to play more first team minutes as you progress. Sometimes you don't start right away just because one player on the field. But how do you, as a guy who's been a veteran, kind of remember that time in your career when you were first getting going and kind of advice to a young player who's just starting out as a goalkeeper at the professional level?
Yeah. As a goalkeeper is different than outfield players. It's like if there's an experienced goalkeeper playing, then yeah, they have to wait for your chance. And I think the most important thing for young goalies is just learn so much as you can and learn from the older goalkeepers, and also get minutes in the second team or in a team where you can play. So yeah, if I look back at my time when I was younger, that was the most important thing for me, to make some minutes and also learn a lot on training, from the other goalkeepers. So I think yeah, Patrick can learn a lot from me and from Evan and from the staff. So I think that's really good for him.
Is patience really important in that position when you are a young guy?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, like when I look back at my time, I was sometimes a little bit impatient. I wanted to play and I wanted to be the first goalie, but yeah, goalies are more. Yeah, the older you get, the more experience you get. Of course, there are some situations that if you get a chance, you have to take it, but most of the time you have to be patient and waiting for a moment. And that's sometimes hard for a soccer player to yeah to be patient waiting for your chance. But as a goalkeeper, it's different. Like there's only one spot, and you have to be patient for your chance.
We also have time for one or two more questions. For our next question, we'll go to Jacob Myers. And if anyone would like a question after that, click raise hand.
Hey Lloyd, last season we saw how injuries really affected this club, and obviously getting Aiden Morris back and some other guys. But I guess just in general, I want to know, what did you see as maybe a reason, if any, you could deduce for why there were so many injuries last season?
Yeah, I think it's hard to tell. Like of course it was a busy season. We played a lot of games, so yeah, and that's a part of it. But like on the other hand, I think it's also just bad luck. Unlucky. We train hard. We have good medical stuff. So I think sometimes you have seasons like that. Like the more players come in injuries, and yeah, sometimes you cannot do anything about it. I was also out for a couple of games, so yeah, it's hard to tell. Like we did everything to stay fit and to train hard, but some seasons like you don't have the luck. And I think last season was a little bit unlucky with the injuries with some key players.
And it seems like Pedro is going to be at least the start of the year, if not the whole year, the kind of number one left back. He played that position at times last year. What do you, I guess, like about him at that position? I know obviously he's a player that gives a lot on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, of course. Like Pedro can play that. He showed it already, and it's going to be a transition for him also because yeah, it's a hard position to play in, and but he can do it, and his work rate is really nice. So that I like from Pedro. And also he's good with the ball. We are a team who want to build up from the back, so it's gonna help when Pedro is in the back to help us out. So yeah, I think it's gonna be good for him, and of course it can also be difficult games because it's new position for him also. But I think he can fill that role pretty well.
For a final question, we'll go to Pat Murphy.
Like Caleb mentioned a hunger in the group, given you guys didn't accomplish what you wanted last year. How have you seen that start to manifest in preseason?
I know if I speak for myself, I'm also hungry because I didn't finish the season how we wanted, like we wanted to get in the playoffs, we didn't make it. So I can tell like with a lot of players, you see a little bit like the edge on everyone, like we want to do it better. And of course, like the players that we have, I still have confidence that we can come far in the season. And I'm also confident that we can win another cup. So I think if you take that confidence with us, and I think you can also tell about the last games of last season. We had a good stretch at the end of the season, and it was not enough, but like that's also hope for this season that we can grow in that the games that we can be better.
Thank you, Eloy. This will conclude the segment.